Good morning. Magandang umaga po. I got some additional information regarding why this travel ban was implemented, the most recent one. And I'm going to share it with you, and then you make your own decision as to whether or not you think this should have been done. Okay? So stay with me, we'll talk about it. Now, the information that I received is that they decided to close the Philippines from everyone except for OFWs and some exceptional cases because of the following statistics that came from, I can't remember if I saw it in the University of the Philippines report. There are three variants that triggered this. This is based on the report as of March 13. Okay, so I don't know if this is in one day, in 1 week, but anyway, the report says there is an additional cases. Okay, but I don't know if it's for a period of 1 day or 1 week or whatever, but additional cases. And let me show you the numbers. The UK variant, local cases, not from returning overseas Filipinos, is 30. The returning overseas Filipinos, 18. Pending verification, so they're still investigating it, is 11. Total of 59. South Africa, this should be African variant. Local cases, 21. ROF, 1. Pending verification, 10. And the Brazilian variant, ROF, 1. So here is the total. Local cases, 51. Returning overseas Filipino, 20. Pending verification, 21. So this is still significant, okay? But let's assume this to be the case. And first of all, amongst the verified numbers, the local case is more than twice that of the ROFs. Okay? So what is the percentage? According to the 2019 statistics, there were 2 million inbound passengers that went through the Philippines. 2 million. That's equivalent to 5,479 a day. So the number of passengers per day is 5,479. The ROF, the returning overseas Filipino, is only 20. That's 0.4%. 0.4%. Let's analyze this further. Let me get my calculator. 5,479. Let's assume that the whole 92, the entire 92, is ROF. Unlikely, because we already know that 51 of it is generated locally. So let's assume 92. That is 1.7%. 1.7%. Okay, now this is per day. Okay, the number of cases here is it did not necessarily happen in 1 day. It did not necessarily happen in 1 day. They just said there is an increase. This could have been over a period of 5, 6, 7, or 10 days that it went up, because by the time it's discovered, by the time it's reported, there is a delay. Okay, so this 92 could have been over several days period, and yet I'm comparing it against the daily passenger of 5,479. So 1.7%, assuming everything is this, okay? What is the reality? Most likely 1/3 is from ROF, and 2/3 probably is a domestic issue. Okay? So 1.7, maybe in reality it's only going to be about 0.6, 0.8 to 0.8%. Very tiny. And look at the number of passengers, 5,479 being quarantined and going through testing and blah, 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 blah. Just take a look at it. And look at the effect on the economy of the Philippines. Now, the other statistic I want to know is they're asking people to be tested and quarantined, spending all that money. How many of these people came out positive? At the end of, say, of the 6th day, came out positive. And yet they're asking 5,479 to go through quarantine each day. Each day. So I leave it up to you guys to decide if you think what Philippines is doing is reasonable or not. But I have some statistics here now. It's not complete. What I really want to know is the people who are being quarantined, what percentage of it are positive and what percentage is negative. And look at the damage it's doing to the country. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people can't understand. A lot of people are accusing the president, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the motivation is behind all this. Maybe it's just fear. And not wanting to be responsible if something really serious happens. Which, I can understand that. But this is the process they have to go through and say, should I really close the economy of the Philippines because of these numbers? They're very small. And I do realize that COVID is much more contagious than just a flu. Okay? Much more contagious. And, interesting. So, please share this with your friends and families and other people you know who are traveling. Of course, for people who don't travel, this may not mean anything to them. But for the people who are being inconvenienced by this, share this with them. And let them decide on their own if they think Philippines should be doing what they are doing. They're hurting the country. They are hurting the country. Not to mention the people, the citizens. I can't imagine citizens are being blacked out. They should be able to get back into their country anytime. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll appreciate it if you can click like down below. And please do subscribe if you have not, unless you have already done so. Okay? Thank you and make it a great day. God bless.